Welcome back to Switch to Linux. This is the privacy section of the Weekly News Roundup. The Weekly News Roundup is filmed live 9 o'clock Eastern Time on Friday nights, unless otherwise posted. And you are watching a shorter pull-out clip from that news section. So if you just want to see the news clips, these ones are for you. If you want to see it live, 9 o'clock Eastern on Switch to Linux on YouTube. So first we're going to start out talking about private internet access. This is the VPN that I actually have an account for. I recommend this one and I recommend Nord. What you can get with private internet access, of course, this is a United States-based company. They were actually demonstrated in a court case to not have logs, which is always a good thing. You just have to give them the minimum account to get the account set up. Just use an email. You can use cryptocurrencies. You can use PayPal. You can use a credit card, any other means that you want to get them paid. And then you can connect, I think there's up to 5 devices, I believe, 5 devices simultaneously. And it also does a tremendous job of blocking ads on your network. So we've been using this to experiment around with some things, and it blocks ads about as well as my host file does on my system. Now, my system does a little bit better because I'm pulling in stuff from an NG blocker port on pfSense. But if I didn't have that system set up, PIA, great way to block the ads that you are seeing on your account. Like I said, they have servers all over the world. You have, it supports the OpenVPN and their own VPN systems as well. So check them out, tlm.li/PIA. Check out the link in the description down below. And now we are on to our privacy news. So first in the privacy news, they are now testing a debit card with a built-in fingerprint reader. This is creepy, people. It's like, of course, no pins, no any of that, just biometric stuff on your credit card. I don't want the credit card companies to have my personal fingerprint numbers and other biometric data. I'm okay with the small possibility of the thing getting hacked, especially since I barely ever use them, and neither should you, people. We need to stop doing away with cash in this society and go back to using cash more and more and more. So basically, this is like the pin and chip where you got to slide it in, enter the pin number. Only in this case, you have to slide it in and you have to hit the card with a fingerprint in order to use it. This is actually very similar to the latest technologies in the USB FIDO chips, where you actually have to put them in and either press a button or, in some of the more secure ones, do a biometric thing. That I would trust a little bit more because I can program it on the individual device and they don't check home. But a credit card, I'm a little leery about this, but apparently this is going in. There's no PIN numbers, no signatures, no payment limits. Oh, it's so convenient. Eventually, we're just going to go by and just, scan the barcode that's on our right hand or on our forehead, and we'll just be able to go in and pay all the stuff that we want and engage in commerce and society. Thank you. I'll be living in a shack in the woods with Bigfoot. All right. No, I don't want to sign into your login-y stuff, Bloomberg Law, but this is an interesting one. So there is a proposed update to the COPA laws, and I'm looking at this going, have we lost our ever-loving mind? This doesn't even make sense to me. Okay, so it's already illegal to advertise, to collect data to advertise to minors, okay, at least under the age of 13. Now, online companies would have to ask 13 to 15-year-olds for their consent before collecting personal or location data under this bipartisan law. Guys, Facebook asked the teenagers to give them all their information. A teenager, no offense to the teenagers watching this, sometimes teenagers are brain dead and don't understand this. That's kind of Dave Ramsey's words, not mine. I just like that firm terminology. And so you don't understand the average one. If you're actually watching my channel, you do. So I'm not really talking to you. I'm talking to your peers. Okay, but what I'm saying here is that a 13 to 15-year-old, oh yes, a big company, would you like to give us all of this for free stuff? Yes, big unscrupulous company that's going to abuse my information. I will absolutely give you this data. You have my full-on permission, and I have given you consent. Have we lost our ever-loving mind? These are lawmakers. They're like, no, you guys need to come out and say, all right, guys, under no circumstance can any data be collected on any minor, under any circumstance, way, shape, or form, parental concern or not. Period. Leave it at that. It becomes very clear and cut. Remember, Facebook did ask the teenagers permission. They just saw free stuff, free stuff, free stuff, free stuff. And so they installed an app onto their device that allowed Facebook to harvest every piece of information about them on the root level of their device. This law is meaningless garbage. So go and, if you're in one of these, this is Missouri and Massachusetts, Emma's Missouri, right? Missouri and Massachusetts, if you're in one of those states, you might want to send them an information saying, please go and understand technology before you try and pass any more laws regarding technology. This would really be a good thing to do. But, you know, this isn't going to stop. This is not going to stop the TikTok issue. This is not going to stop the Facebook issue. It's not going to stop all of the other issues that we've been talking about with data collection and kids. You are asking, like, okay, try and ask a 5-year-old if he'd like to have a candy bar before dinner. Is any of them going to say no? Really? So, you know, bravo, bravo, bravo. No doubt it is a smokescreen to get us diverted off of the all-seeing eye, looking at everything else. Well, if you're in China, great news. You will be able to scan your face to... Yeah, this is creepy, guys. Scan your face to link to your attached bank account to pay for your subway fare. That's right. That's right. It was just too inconvenient to take your smartphone, pull up the barcode, and do this to pay for your transit ticket. Nope. Now you can go in and scan your face. And then they will automatically deduct the money from the bank account that is linked to your face scan. Oh, I don't see this going bad anytime in the future. Do you guys see this? No, this is so secure. This is so secure that, a bunch of photos were scraped and used. I believe it was IBM scraped Flickr photos and used them to train AI to be better at identifying people and caused a little bit of a snafu here. Now, so here is a big unscrupulous company that did not seek consent to scrape the photos out. And then now we're using those photos to train AI. And now in other countries, we're trying to attach a facial scan to a bank account. People, we've lost our mind! We've lost our mind! Stop linking bank accounts to your face, to your fingerprints, to your biometrics. Holy cramolies! This is insanity. This is insanity. Stop linking things. Stop scraping things. Slow down on the facial recognition. Slow down on all this stuff. Just slow down. Okay? In one country, they're linking face scans to your bank account, and in this country, they're scraping your photos without your consent to identify you better by your face. Wow, people. Wow. But at least the United States congressmen are coming in to save us. They want to have a new bill, legislation to say we need to have commercial application oversight for facial recognition technology. No doubt written by IBM. Yeah. So, Hawaii Senator Brian Schatz and Missouri Senator Roy Blunt, he was very blunt about this. Ooh. All right. Introduced a bill designed to offer legislative oversight for commercial applications of facial recognition technology. So known as Commercial Facial Recognition Privacy Act would obligate companies to first obtain explicit user consent before collecting any facial recognition data, as well as limiting companies from freely sharing facial recognition data with third parties. Guys, you know how this is going to work on our current modern economic system? It's going to work like I go in to get a bank account, right? You go in to get a bank account and you have zero ability. I cannot sit there with the banker and negotiate the terms and conditions. I have got to fill it out, agree with everything they've given me with no wiggle room whatsoever. That's what's going to happen. To use the service, you've got to consent to give us your thing. And this is explicit consent. Once again, lawmakers, learn something about technology before you try and do something about it. Because this is meaningless garbage until you address the concept that we have to have the ability to tell a company, no, I'm not doing this, and you can't prevent it, especially if it's talking like a bank, okay? Think about a bank. Look at back to these debit cards that require your fingerprints. You're going to go into your bank and they're like, well, you got to put your fingerprints right here so we can attach your fingerprints to your debit card. Do you have any leverage to say to the bank, I'm not going to do that? No, you have zero. You can either open the account or you cannot open the account because that is what is called explicit permission. It's meaningless dribble. You need to address the concept of terms and conditions, okay? It is so important that we get into this and we start saying we as consumers need to have power to hold the companies accountable. We have to be able to negotiate the terms and conditions of the contracts. Until that is a thing, laws like this are meaningless garbage. So thank you, senators, for your attempt at doing something, but this will not mean anything in the long run. It's yet another smoke and mirrors to divert your attention off of what's really happening behind the silken screen. Oh boy, this is a fun one. So Amazon did finally buy the Arrow, and this is very eerie. This is a router system that is kind of moving in the trend that a lot of things are going, where you used to buy your router and you'd plug it into your wall. And when you take your router and you plug it into your wall, then you end up with a circumstance where you can log into the administrative panel, you can do some configuration, you can make some adjustments, you can do little stuff kind of like this back and forth a little bit, all right? The challenge that we get, the big challenge that we get is now everything wants to go onto cloud management. And these new routers, the Arrow routers, are cloud managed, which means you have to connect through the internet into their company server clouds to manage your hardware in your house. So Amazon buys these to help bring in more people. They wanted to bring in not more people. They want to bring in more connectivity with their Echo devices and their perpetually connected, constant Amazon-y things, okay? And now, of course, they come out and said, well, we are completely operating separately and Amazon will not be able to collect all this data. But the reality is they now have the possibility that we're taking these data, okay, we're connecting it all up, and they have the ability to collect the data. Do we trust them not to? I don't. Now, regardless of if Amazon owns this company or not, I would not buy any device that automatically, perpetually connects me to their cloud servers. I don't want anything managed on anyone else's cloud servers. I am perfectly competent to manage my own Wi-Fi router. Now, I do understand in some ways that not everybody has the ability anymore to plug in a router because we've become stupefied by our smart devices. Whatever. And in the final point of All right. This home DNA testing firm will let users block FBI access to their data. Guys, you know that Golden State Killer guy that the police department that put their data in didn't identify themselves as police? Yeah, they just created data. So how does these company know? And this is an American-based company. Do we really think that an American-based company is going to tell the FBI, no, you can't have any data? No, if the FBI wants that data, they're just going to come and take it. They're going to find some way to come take that data. They're going to look back and say, oh, looks like you had an unpaid speeding ticket from like 15 years ago. Yeah, we're going to pull you in for that. Oh, we're going to have to seize everything that you have in the meantime. They're going to find a way. This is more smoke and mirrors. I should like build a smoke and mirrors display back here. Should I build a smoke and mirrors display? I don't know. You guys let me know. But... oh my Lord. So this home DNA, because this is kind of coming out in response to all of these DNA firm companies now sharing the data with the FBI and all this, and now everyone's like all privacy centric, we're getting all privacy focused, and now they're coming in, this company's going, oh no, we will not allow any law enforcement. You can opt out to having law enforcement see your data. That was a funny joke. Tell me another funny joke. But that's what they're thinking about. What do you guys think? Is this going to fly or is this not going to fly? Let me know in the comments down below. Oh boy. Don't forget to have a look at the links on the screen. Follow the social media accounts, and there will be some links there if you want to help support the channel as well. Thanks for coming along, and hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.